Have you ever felt your legs growing heavier, weaker, or more painful with each passing year? Maybe you've noticed it's getting harder to climb the stairs, walk long distances, or even stand for just a few minutes without that deep, familiar ache creeping in. At first, you might chalk it up to getting older. After all, isn't this just part of aging? But what if I told you, it's not just your age? What if the real culprit, the hidden enemy steadily robbing you of your strength, your freedom, and your independence, is something much more insidious, lurking silently on your plate every single day? In today's video, we're going to uncover the truth that few talk about. We'll reveal the 5 common foods that, without you realizing it, could be silently sabotaging your leg strength, your joints, your circulation, and ultimately, your ability to live the vibrant, active life you deserve. Stay with me, because what you discover today could very well change the way you move, walk, and feel for the rest of your life. Now, let me ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever reached the top of a flight of stairs only to find yourself breathless, legs trembling, wondering when that simple task became such a challenge? Or perhaps standing up after sitting for a while feels like your legs are made of lead, heavy and uncooperative? You are not alone. As a health professional with over a decade of experience working with older adults, I've seen this story unfold too many times. Strong, vibrant individuals gradually retreat from life, not because they wanted to, but because their bodies simply couldn't keep up. And too often, they believed it was inevitable. But it wasn't. There's a silent enemy working behind the scenes, the foods we trust, the foods that comfort us, the foods that are supposed to nourish us. Many of them are quietly stealing the very foundation of our independence, our legs. Well, before we dive deeper, if you're already finding this topic resonates with you, please support this mission by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. And if you've ever experienced that heavy, aching leg feeling yourself, comment the number 1 below right now. It's not just about engagement, it's about standing together, sharing this critical knowledge, and helping each other stay strong and independent longer. Your support truly helps us spread these life-changing lessons to more seniors who need to hear them. Now, let's keep going, because what you're about to learn next is even more surprising. You see, most seniors focus on exercises, stretching routines, or joint supplements to maintain mobility. Those are important, absolutely. But they miss one crucial truth. Mobility begins not with movement, but with what you fuel your body with. Just like a car can't run properly on dirty, low-quality fuel, your body can't maintain strength if it's constantly fed foods that inflame, weaken, and erode it from the inside out. And here's the hard truth. Some of the most damaging foods are disguised as everyday staples, things you've probably eaten without a second thought for years. That comforting slice of cake at your granddaughter's birthday party. That quick breakfast of bacon and toast on busy mornings. That convenient stop at a fast food drive-thru after a long doctor's appointment. Each of these moments, though small, adds up, day after day, year after year, quietly chipping away at your leg strength and overall mobility. Let me share a quick insight from my personal journey with my elderly clients. It's not dramatic injuries or sudden illnesses that most often steal independence. It's the slow, creeping loss of strength and balance, so gradual, so subtle, that by the time people realize, it feels too late. But here's the empowering news. It's not too late. You still have the power to turn the tide. By simply making smarter, more conscious food choices, you can rebuild your strength, rejuvenate your energy, and reclaim your confidence. And trust me, the foods you'll discover today aren't exotic, expensive, or impossible to find. They're simple swaps, small changes that can lead to profound transformations. So stay with me, because in just a moment, we'll begin by exposing the first sweet, seductive villain hiding in plain sight: processed sugar, the sweet deceiver. It's more dangerous than you've been led to believe, especially when it comes to the health of your muscles, your joints, and your bones. Processed sugar doesn't just affect your waistline. It is quietly waging war on your ability to stand, walk, and live freely. Curious? You should be, because what you're about to learn may just save your legs, your balance, and your future freedom. Ready to discover the truth? Let's dive into the first silent saboteur now. Backhand index pointing right. 1. Processed sugar, the sweet deceiver. Let's start by unmasking one of the most deceptive culprits hiding in plain sight: processed sugar, the sweet deceiver. There's an undeniable allure to sweetness. A teaspoon of sugar stirred into your morning coffee, a slice of rich chocolate cake at your grandchild's birthday, or the comforting ritual of reaching for a cookie after dinner. These small moments feel harmless, even heartwarming. Sweetness, after all, is deeply woven into our memories of family, love, and celebration. But behind that comforting flavor lies a silent destroyer. Processed sugar doesn't just impact your waistline. It wages a slow, invisible war against your muscles, your joints, your bones, and ultimately, your independence. Imagine fueling your body each day with something that slowly saps the very strength you rely on to walk, stand, climb stairs, and live freely. That's exactly what processed sugar is doing. Now, you might be thinking, is it really that bad? Surely a little sugar can't hurt that much, right? Here's where most people fall into the trap. Processed sugar is far more destructive than it appears, especially for aging muscles and bones. Today, I'll walk you through exactly how this sweet deceiver operates, and why cutting back could be one of the most powerful decisions you make for your long-term mobility. And before we continue, if you're finding this information eye-opening, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment the word strong below if you're committed to protecting your legs starting today. Your support truly fuels our mission to spread strength, health, and independence to seniors everywhere. Every time you consume processed sugar, whether in candies, sodas, pastries, or even healthy granola bars, your blood sugar levels spike rapidly. This spike might give you a fleeting burst of energy, making you feel momentarily invigorated. But here's the problem: that surge triggers a massive release of insulin, which quickly sweeps the sugar out of your bloodstream, leading to a sharp crash. The result? Fatigue, sluggishness, weakness, feelings that creep into your legs and make even simple tasks like walking to the mailbox feel exhausting. Over time, this constant up and down pattern damages your body's ability to regulate energy properly. Suddenly, you're tired all the time, not because of aging, but because your body is locked in a sugar-induced cycle of energy chaos. Processed sugar is one of the biggest drivers of chronic inflammation. Now, inflammation isn't always bad. It's your body's natural response to injury or infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, fueled by a steady diet of sugary foods, it starts attacking healthy tissues, especially muscles and joints. Inflamed joints become swollen, stiff, and painful, particularly in weight-bearing areas like your knees, hips, and ankles. If you've ever noticed that your legs feel heavier, ache after meals, or stiffen after short walks, chronic sugar-fueled inflammation could be a hidden cause. Even worse, chronic inflammation damages muscle fibers, reducing their flexibility and resilience. Muscles under constant attack can't repair themselves properly after daily activity, leading to micro-tears, weakness, and a gradual, heartbreaking loss of strength. In my decade of working with older adults, I've witnessed time and again how this process unfolds quietly, steadily, until one day, standing from a chair or climbing a step becomes a major obstacle. As we age, our sensitivity to insulin naturally declines. But a high-sugar diet speeds up this decline dramatically, pushing the body toward insulin resistance, a condition where your cells no longer respond effectively to insulin's signal to absorb glucose and nutrients. When muscles can't properly take in glucose and amino acids, they literally starve for fuel. And when muscles are starved, they shrink. They weaken. They lose their ability to support you. This muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is one of the greatest threats to senior independence. It turns walking, standing, balancing, and even reaching for things into exhausting challenges. Sugar's damage doesn't stop at muscles and joints. It also sabotages your bones by interfering with calcium absorption, a mineral absolutely critical for maintaining bone density. Over time, high sugar intake leads to brittle, fragile bones that are dangerously prone to fractures. For seniors, a simple fall that might have once caused only a bruise can now shatter a hip, leading to long, painful recoveries, or worse, permanent loss of mobility. One of the scariest parts about processed sugar is how sneaky it is. It's not just in candy and cakes. It hides in healthy yogurts, granola bars, salad dressings, canned soups, cereals, even so-called whole-grain breads. These hidden sugars accumulate day after day, year after year, quietly contributing to muscle wasting, joint pain, and brittle bones. Reading ingredient labels carefully becomes not just smart, it becomes essential for protecting your legs and your freedom. The good news? You don't have to give up sweetness completely. You just have to choose it wisely. Opt for natural alternatives like raw honey, pure maple syrup, or mashed dates in small, mindful amounts. Savor whole fruits like berries, apples, and citrus. They satisfy sweet cravings while flooding your body with anti-inflammatory antioxidants. Read labels diligently. Watch for hidden sugars under names like high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, or anything ending in -ose. Cook at home whenever possible, using spices like cinnamon, vanilla, or nutmeg to bring out natural sweetness without the crash. Every small change you make reduces inflammation, stabilizes your energy, preserves your muscle mass, and strengthens your bones. Here's a truth I often remind my clients: aging is inevitable. Decline is optional. Every meal you eat is either building your strength or breaking it down. Processed sugar may feel like a small indulgence today, but over months and years, its hidden toll is devastating, sapping strength, slowing movements, increasing fall risk, and stripping away independence. The choice to cut back on processed sugar isn't just about food. It's about reclaiming your right to move freely, live independently, and enjoy every precious day ahead. And now that you know how destructive processed sugar can be, stay tuned, because next, we're exposing another silent destroyer that's even more embedded in daily habits: deep-fried and fast foods, the silent enemy of your joints and circulation. What you learn next could be the missing piece to protecting your legs and living the vibrant, active life you deserve. 2. Deep-fried and fast foods, the silent enemy. Now that we've unmasked the sweet deceiver, it's time to confront another silent threat that's even more deeply woven into daily habits: deep-fried and fast foods, the silent enemy of your joints and circulation. Few things rival the sensory pleasure of biting into a crispy, golden French fry, savoring the crunch of fried chicken, or indulging in a warm, sugary donut. These foods aren't just meals, they're memories, family gatherings, holiday celebrations, quick stops after errands. For many seniors, fast food feels like a small reward, a comforting convenience in a busy world. But beneath the crispy coatings and mouth-watering flavors lies a serious, insidious danger, one that quietly chips away at your strength, your mobility, and your ability to live freely. Here's the truth: deep-fried and fast foods are among the most damaging enemies to your leg's health. They don't just add calories or inches to your waistline. They ignite a fire of inflammation, sabotage your circulation, weaken your joints, and silently accelerate the decline of your body's most essential foundation, your lower limbs. If you've noticed your knees aching more after meals, your legs feeling heavier than they used to, or a nagging stiffness when you try to move, the food on your plate could be the hidden reason. Most people assume it's just getting older. But it's not just age, it's inflammation, poor blood flow, and joint deterioration being fueled, bite after bite, by the wrong foods. Let's start with the worst offender: trans fats. These artificial fats, commonly found in deep-fried foods and fast food items, are some of the most inflammatory substances you can consume. They don't just contribute to weight gain, they actively attack the cartilage cushioning your joints, accelerating its breakdown. When the cartilage thins, bones begin to grind against each other, causing pain, stiffness, and swelling. Over time, this leads to osteoarthritis, a degenerative condition that robs millions of seniors of their ability to move without pain. Every painful step, every wince when standing, every decision to sit this one out because of discomfort, it adds up. And all the while, the real villain isn't just time passing by, it's the daily assault of inflammatory foods quietly sabotaging your body. But the damage doesn't stop there. Deep-fried and fast foods are also loaded with saturated fats and sodium, a toxic combination for your circulation. High sodium levels cause water retention and blood vessel constriction, leading to elevated blood pressure and reduced blood flow. This starves your muscles of oxygen and nutrients, making your legs feel heavy, tired, and weak. Poor circulation also dramatically increases the risk of dangerous conditions like deep vein thrombosis, DVT, and peripheral artery disease, PAD, serious threats that can lead to life-altering complications. In my work with older adults, I have seen the devastating outcomes: legs that ache constantly, calves that cramp painfully during walks, and wounds that refuse to heal properly because of compromised blood flow. Another hidden danger? Weight gain. Fast food is calorie-dense but nutrient-poor. Even small portions pack hundreds of calories, leading to rapid weight gain over time. This extra weight places massive pressure on your knees, hips, and ankles, joints already vulnerable due to aging. Every extra pound you carry translates into about 4 additional pounds of pressure on your knees. Over time, this relentless stress accelerates cartilage wear, worsens arthritis symptoms, and increases the likelihood of falls. And for seniors, a fall isn't just a minor injury. It can mean fractures, hospitalization, prolonged immobility, and a heartbreaking loss of independence. Worse yet, deep-fried foods offer almost no support for your bones. Unlike nutrient-rich foods that supply calcium, magnesium, and vitamins necessary for maintaining bone density, fried foods are empty calories, providing no reinforcement to the skeletal structure. Even more alarmingly, the high sodium content of fast foods actually leaches calcium from your bones, making them even more fragile. That means every indulgence isn't just adding calories, it's literally stealing the minerals your bones desperately need to stay strong. And if you think choosing a fast food salad protects you, think again. Many fast food salads are drenched in sugary, high-fat dressings and topped with processed meats that negate any potential benefit. Convenience comes at a hidden cost, one that your legs and joints end up paying. But here's the empowering truth: you are not powerless. You can choose differently, and it's simpler than you think. Small, mindful adjustments to your eating habits can lead to massive improvements in strength, balance, and quality of life. Start by avoiding deep-fried items whenever possible. Choose baked, grilled, or steamed foods instead. At home, swap vegetable oils for heart-healthy options like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Prioritize meals rich in lean proteins, whole grains, fresh vegetables, and healthy fats that support joint health and muscle repair. When eating out, opt for grilled chicken over fried, water or unsweetened tea over soda, and side salads, with dressing on the side, instead of fries. These small shifts protect your circulation, preserve your joint health, and keep your muscles properly nourished. Boosting circulation is key. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon and walnuts, nitrates like leafy greens and beets, and antioxidants like berries help keep blood vessels flexible and reduce inflammation. Strengthening your bones matters too. Ensure you're getting enough calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D through dairy, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and sensible sun exposure. Here's something I tell every client who feels overwhelmed. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you choose grilled over fried, every time you skip the drive-thru and prepare a meal at home, every time you nourish your body instead of inflaming it, you're casting a vote for your future independence. So now that you know how deep-fried and fast foods quietly destroy your legs' strength, mobility, and freedom, it's time to move forward armed with the knowledge to protect yourself. Stay with me, because next, we'll expose another seemingly innocent staple that's eroding your strength bit by bit. Processed meats, the hidden threat to muscle and mobility. What you'll learn might just make you rethink your next grocery trip, and could be the key to stronger legs and a longer, more independent life ahead. 3. Processed meats, the hidden threat to muscle and mobility. Now that we've uncovered the dangers lurking in deep-fried and fast foods, it's time to reveal another silent saboteur that's even more deceptive because of how familiar, even comforting, it feels. Processed meats, the hidden threat to muscle and mobility. Think about it. A quick ham sandwich at lunch, sizzling bacon for breakfast, a few slices of deli turkey for dinner. These foods have become staples in modern diets, especially for seniors seeking easy, convenient meals. But what if the very foods you trusted to nourish you are silently eroding the muscles that keep you standing strong? Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling unusually stiff, heavy, or weak after a meal? If you have, it might not just be getting older. It might be the hidden effects of the processed meats sitting on your plate. Processed meats such as bacon, sausage, ham, deli cuts, hot dogs, and pepperoni are loaded with preservatives, excessive sodium, and harmful additives. While they may offer a quick source of protein, the reality is far more alarming. These foods gradually weaken your muscles, stiffen your joints, and compromise your mobility in ways you may not even realize. Here's the hidden mechanism. Most processed meats are saturated with sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite, chemicals that not only preserve color and flavor, but also fuel chronic inflammation deep within your body. Chronic inflammation acts like a slow-burning fire, steadily destroying muscle fibers, stiffening joints, and accelerating the loss of strength. Over time, inflammation wears away the resilience of your muscles, making simple tasks like walking, rising from a chair, or climbing stairs feel harder and harder. It's not just aging, it's biochemical sabotage happening bite by bite. In my years working with older adults, I've witnessed how insidious this process can be. Clients would come in, frustrated by sudden weakness or unexplained fatigue, blaming their age, when in reality, a significant part of the damage was dietary. When we traced back their habits, processed meats showed up again and again. It's heartbreaking because most people simply don't realize they're harming themselves with every sandwich, every bacon strip, every casual snack. The decline feels inevitable, but in many cases, it's preventable. Processed meats also contribute heavily to water retention due to their sky-high sodium content. Excess sodium disrupts your body's natural fluid balance, leading to swelling, particularly in the lower extremities like your legs, ankles, and feet. If you've ever felt your legs puff up, your shoes fitting tighter, or your steps feeling sluggish and heavy after a salty meal, you've experienced the impact firsthand. Swollen tissues place greater stress on muscles and joints, making every step laborious and exhausting. Over time, this chronic heaviness weakens muscles further, setting the stage for serious mobility issues. Even more alarming, processed meats accelerate the breakdown of muscle mass itself. Aging naturally leads to a gradual loss of muscle, a condition called sarcopenia. But diets high in processed foods exacerbate this decline dramatically. Muscles are highly dependent on high-quality protein, essential amino acids, magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins to maintain their strength and function. Processed meats, stripped of natural nutrients and laden with inflammatory compounds, fail to deliver these building blocks. Worse, they often crowd out healthier foods that could have nourished and repaired muscle tissue. The result? Legs that once carried you effortlessly now struggle under your own weight. Tasks like getting out of a chair, walking to the mailbox, or standing in line at the grocery store feel daunting. Fatigue sets in faster. Balance becomes shaky. Falls become more likely. And as we know, for seniors, a fall can trigger a devastating cascade of consequences: fractures, hospitalization, loss of independence, and diminished quality of life. And yet, because processed meats are so normalized, featured at every breakfast buffet, included in every quick meal option, it's easy to underestimate their cumulative impact. It's not about the occasional treat. It's about the everyday exposures that quietly dismantle your mobility, piece by piece, year after year. But here's the good news. You can reclaim your strength by making simple, powerful swaps. Start by reducing or eliminating processed meats from your daily routine. Instead, reach for fresh, unprocessed proteins like grilled chicken breast, roasted turkey, baked salmon, or plant-based alternatives such as lentils, chickpeas, and black beans. These foods deliver the complete proteins and vital nutrients your muscles need to stay strong, flexible, and resilient. When you crave the convenience of a sandwich, use freshly cooked meats or spread hummus or avocado on whole grain bread for a delicious, muscle-supporting alternative. Choose foods rich in magnesium, potassium, and antioxidants, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, bananas, berries, to nourish your muscles and counteract inflammation. Stay mindful of sodium intake by cooking more meals at home, seasoning with herbs and spices instead of salt, and choosing low-sodium versions of canned or packaged foods. Hydrate well to help your body flush out excess sodium and reduce swelling. Every positive choice strengthens your legs, preserves your balance, and fortifies your independence. It doesn't require a radical overhaul, just consistent, mindful improvements. Remember, it's the quiet habits repeated daily that shape your future mobility, not occasional grand gestures. There's a profound truth I share with every senior I work with. The strength of your legs isn't just about your muscles. It's about the decisions you make every day at the table. Every healthy swap, every mindful meal, every moment you choose nourishment over convenience is an investment into your freedom, your ability to walk, dance, garden, travel, and embrace the life you love without fear or limitation. Now that you know how processed meats quietly undermine your legs' strength and mobility, stay with me, because next, we'll reveal another hidden threat that may seem innocent but drains your energy and stamina meal by meal. High-sodium foods, draining strength from your legs one meal at a time. What you learn could be the missing link to feeling lighter, stronger, and more energized every single day. 4. High-sodium foods, draining strength from your legs. After understanding how processed meats silently sabotage your strength, it's time to spotlight another daily danger that seems even more innocent: high-sodium foods, draining strength from your legs one meal at a time. Salt is so embedded in our lives that we barely give it a second thought. A sprinkle here, a pinch there, it flavors our eggs, seasons our soups, enhances almost every meal. But what if this tiny, harmless-looking crystal was doing far more harm than you realized? slowly sapping your energy, weakening your muscles, and making each step heavier than the last. Let me ask you, have you ever finished a meal only to feel your legs swell, your ankles throb, or a deep, dragging fatigue settle into your muscles? If so, you're not alone, and it's not just aging. It's the hidden hand of sodium, quietly tightening its grip on your mobility with every salty bite. High sodium intake is one of the most underestimated threats to leg health and overall vitality, especially for seniors. And the worst part? It's hiding in more foods than you think, even ones you believe are healthy. Here's how it happens. Sodium plays a crucial role in fluid balance within your body. But when you consume too much, far beyond what your kidneys can efficiently handle, it causes your body to retain water. That extra fluid builds up in your bloodstream and tissues, leading to swelling, known medically as edema. For your legs, ankles, and feet, it feels like walking with weights strapped around your muscles. Movement becomes laborious. Flexibility declines. Pain and tightness increase. Day by day, your ability to move freely shrinks. And yet, most people blame getting older without realizing their diet is quietly engineering their decline. But the damage doesn't end with heaviness and swelling. Excess sodium constricts blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and reduces blood flow to the muscles. Muscles starved of oxygen and nutrients become fatigued faster, lose strength more rapidly, and recover poorly from even minor activity. Over time, this leads to persistent weakness, making tasks like standing from a chair, walking short distances, or climbing stairs exhausting. It creates a vicious cycle. Less movement leads to more weakness, which leads to even less movement. Working with seniors over the years, I've seen this firsthand. Individuals who once walked miles daily now struggle after just a few steps, not because of inevitable aging, but because their muscles have been systematically deprived of the circulation and nutrients they need to thrive. And behind the scenes, high-sodium foods were one of the major culprits. And it's not just about physical strength. High-sodium intake indirectly erodes bone health, too. When sodium levels are high, your body excretes more calcium through urine, a process that gradually leaches the very mineral your bones need to stay strong and dense. Without sufficient calcium, bones become fragile, porous, and prone to fractures. For seniors, this means a simple misstep or stumble could result in a broken hip, a hospital stay, or worse, a permanent loss of independence. It's a slow, invisible process. You don't feel your bones weakening. You don't notice your muscles tiring faster until one day, the fatigue is overwhelming. The stairs seem steeper. The grocery bags seem heavier. The joy of walking in the park fades into the background, replaced by hesitation and fear of falling. And all the while, the true enemy has been quietly sitting on your plate, disguised in your favorite soups, deli meats, frozen dinners, canned vegetables, breads, and restaurant meals. But awareness is power and change is possible. It starts with recognizing where hidden sodium lies. Beyond the salt shaker, the real danger lies in processed and packaged foods. Canned soups, frozen entrees, snack chips, sauces, salad dressings, even so-called healthy meal replacements often harbor shocking amounts of sodium. Bread, cereals, and even flavored water products can carry high sodium loads hidden behind confusing labels. Here's how you can reclaim your strength starting today. First, become a label detective. Look for products labeled low sodium, no salt added, or sodium-free. Ideally, aim for meals where the sodium content per serving is less than 140 milligrams, and be wary of serving sizes, which are often smaller than you expect. Second, prioritize whole, unprocessed foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, lean proteins, and whole grains, which are naturally low in sodium and rich in the nutrients your muscles and bones desperately need. Third, flavor your meals creatively with herbs, spices, lemon juice, vinegar, and other sodium-free seasonings. Garlic, rosemary, thyme, cumin, turmeric, and pepper can create amazing flavors without relying on salt. Fourth, cook at home whenever possible. Restaurant and takeout meals are often sodium bombs, even when they don't taste overly salty. Every small choice compounds into greater strength, better mobility, and renewed independence. Cutting sodium doesn't mean bland food or endless sacrifice. It means choosing life, energy, and freedom over gradual decline. It's about waking up with lighter legs, walking longer without fatigue, standing taller with better balance, and moving with the confidence that comes from knowing your body is nourished, not burdened. And it's about protecting your bones, your circulation, and your precious ability to live independently for years to come. The empowering truth is this: you are not stuck. You are not doomed to weaken and fall into frailty. Every meal you choose low sodium is a step back toward vitality. Every time you skip the processed snack and savor a crisp apple or a handful of unsalted almonds, you're rebuilding your strength from the inside out. It's not too late. Change starts with the next bite. And now that you understand how high-sodium foods slowly drain your leg strength and energy, stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll uncover yet another hidden enemy that quietly accelerates muscle loss and exhaustion: refined carbohydrates. The silent saboteurs of muscle strength. You'll be shocked at how everyday favorites may be undermining your resilience, and you'll discover simple swaps that can reignite your vitality like never before. Backhand index pointing right. 5. Refined carbohydrates, the silent saboteurs of muscle strength. As we continue to uncover the hidden threats stealing your strength, it's time to reveal another silent saboteur, one that feels so comforting, so familiar, that most people never question it. Refined carbohydrates, the silent saboteurs of muscle strength. Think about the warm slice of white toast in the morning, the bowl of fluffy white rice with lunch, the comforting plate of pasta at dinner. These foods have been staples of comfort for generations. But what if I told you that these beloved carbohydrates, stripped of their natural nutrients, could be steadily weakening your legs, draining your energy, and undermining your independence? Let's get real for a moment. Have you ever experienced a sudden crash in energy after a big meal? That bone-deep fatigue that makes you want to sit, not stand, to lie down, not move? If so, it's not just getting older or being tired. It's the aftermath of refined carbs playing havoc with your body's internal balance. And it's a cycle that, left unchecked, can turn strong, resilient legs into fragile, unreliable ones far faster than you realize. Here's how refined carbohydrates quietly sabotage your muscles. When you consume foods like white bread, white rice, pastries, and sugary cereals, your body rapidly converts them into glucose. This floods your bloodstream with sugar, causing a sharp spike in blood sugar levels. Just like with processed sugar, your body responds by releasing a surge of insulin to lower those levels, and soon after, you experience a dramatic crash. That crash leaves you feeling drained, sluggish, and weak. Repeat this cycle meal after meal, day after day, and your muscles begin to suffer deeply. But the damage runs even deeper. High blood sugar spikes fueled by refined carbs trigger chronic inflammation throughout your body, attacking your joints and muscles at the cellular level. Inflammation makes muscles less flexible, less efficient at repairing themselves, and more prone to micro tears and degeneration. It also stiffens joints, increasing pain and reducing the range of motion, making even basic activities like bending, walking, or reaching for something feel harder than they should. In my years of working with older adults, I've seen the heartbreaking effects of this pattern. Clients would come in feeling frustrated and defeated, describing how they just don't have the energy anymore or feel like their legs won't cooperate. Time and again, when we peeled back their diets, refined carbohydrates were a major culprit, hiding in their favorite breads, breakfast bowls, snack bars, and restaurant meals. They weren't overeating, they were simply eating the wrong kind of fuel. Refined carbs do more than spike and crash your energy, they also accelerate muscle loss, a condition called sarcopenia. Muscles thrive on stable energy, protein, and key nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins. Refined carbohydrates, stripped of fiber and nutrients during processing, offer almost none of these essentials. Instead, they flood the body with empty calories, promote fat gain, and starve muscles of the building blocks they need to stay strong. As a result, every meal heavy in refined carbs chips away at your strength. Over time, your legs lose endurance, your balance becomes more precarious, and your stamina fades. The simple act of carrying groceries, climbing stairs, or enjoying a long walk becomes exhausting, not because you're too old, but because your muscles have been undernourished for years without you even realizing it. And the most dangerous part? The decline feels so gradual that many people don't notice until they've already lost a significant amount of strength. They adapt by moving less, sitting more, avoiding activities they once loved, and the less you use your muscles, the faster they weaken. It's a vicious cycle that starts with diet, accelerates with inactivity, and culminates in loss of independence. But here's the powerful truth. You can break this cycle starting today. The first step is simple. Replace refined carbohydrates with nutrient-dense, whole food alternatives that truly nourish your body. Instead of white bread, Choose whole grain or sprouted grain breads rich in fiber and B vitamins. Instead of white rice, swap for quinoa, brown rice, or farro, which release energy slowly and steadily, keeping your muscles fueled longer. Instead of sugary cereals, start your day with steel-cut oats topped with berries, nuts, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Instead of pastries and cakes, reach for a handful of almonds and a fresh apple, foods that stabilize blood sugar, feed your muscles, and energize your body naturally. Incorporate colorful, fiber-rich vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli, sweet potatoes, and beets into every meal. These foods are packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation and minerals that support muscle and bone health. Prioritize lean proteins, chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, legumes, to provide the amino acids your muscles need to stay strong. Hydrate well with water and herbal teas to support circulation and nutrient delivery. Every small change adds up. Every healthy swap strengthens your foundation. Every meal you choose wisely is an investment in the freedom to walk, to explore, to live fully and independently, not just today, but for years to come. One thing I always remind my clients is this: food isn't just calories, it's information. Every bite you take sends a message to your body, telling it to either build strength, resilience, and vitality, or to break down, weaken, and decline. You have the power to choose what message you send with every meal. Imagine waking up with lighter legs, boundless energy, and a newfound confidence to move freely, unafraid of weakness or faults. Imagine feeling strong again, not by chasing perfection, but by embracing simple, nourishing habits day after day. Now that you know how refined carbohydrates quietly weaken your muscles and sap your stamina, stay tuned, because we're about to wrap up with the most important part of all: how everything you've learned ties together into a daily strategy for stronger legs, better balance, and a more vibrant, independent life. In our final segment, we'll show you how to connect the dots, avoid common traps, and create simple, sustainable habits that will carry you, literally and figuratively, into a stronger, healthier future. Backhand index pointing right. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take a moment, a deep, honest moment, to think about everything you've just discovered. Think about the foods that seem so harmless: a little sugar here, a comforting bite of fried chicken there, a quick ham sandwich on a busy day, a convenient frozen meal, or a cozy plate of white rice. Think about how these everyday choices, repeated quietly over time, could be slowly stealing your strength, eroding your independence, and limiting the beautiful, vibrant life you deserve. Now, I want you to know something very important. This is not your fault. You weren't warned. You weren't given a guidebook when you turned 60, 70, 80 years old. No one set you down and explained how drastically your body's needs would change, how what once seemed innocent could now undermine your freedom. But now you know. And knowing gives you incredible power. Your legs are more than just limbs that carry you from point A to point B. They're your connection to life. They carry you to your grandchildren's games, through parks blooming with springtime flowers, across dance floors at family weddings, down the hallways of your own home, proud, steady, strong. Losing that freedom is not inevitable. Weakness is not your destiny. You have the ability, right now, to change the course of your future with the choices you make, one meal at a time, one step at a time. Maybe you're thinking, is it too late for me? Maybe you've already felt the creeping fatigue, the heavy legs, the hesitation to walk too far from home. But I want you to hear me clearly. It is never too late. The human body is incredibly resilient. Every smart choice you make from today forward builds a stronger tomorrow. Imagine this: waking up with more energy, lighter steps, and a newfound confidence in your balance. Climbing stairs without stopping halfway to catch your breath. Standing taller, moving freer, reclaiming the activities you thought were slipping away. Feeling the pride of knowing that you chose this strength, that you fought for your freedom and won. This isn't a fantasy. It's reality, and it's waiting for you, just a few choices away. It starts by looking honestly at what's on your plate and making small, manageable swaps, choosing a handful of berries over a sugar-filled dessert, grilling a piece of salmon instead of grabbing a fast food burger, reaching for a fresh, vibrant salad instead of a processed, salty frozen meal, swapping out refined white bread for hearty, whole grain options. And when you stumble, because we all stumble, it's okay. Progress, not perfection, is what builds real strength. Every time you say yes to nourishing your body and no to foods that inflame and weaken you, you're investing in your independence. You're building a future where you stay active, vital, and deeply connected to the life you love. Think about the people who love you, the ones who want you strong and happy for as long as possible. Think about the adventures still waiting for you, the places you haven't walked yet, the sunsets you haven't chased, the laughter you haven't shared. Your legs, your muscles, your bones, they are the vehicles that will carry you to all of it. And the best part? You don't have to walk this journey alone. You have this community, a growing family of seniors committed to living stronger, healthier, and more vibrant lives. And I'm here with you, every step of the way. If you found value in today's video, if something clicked for you, if you feel even a tiny spark of hope or motivation, please support this mission by hitting the like button. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next life-changing lesson. And most importantly, leave a comment below sharing one thing you're going to do differently starting today. Maybe it's cutting back on processed meats. Maybe it's swapping out one refined carb meal for a fiber-rich alternative. Maybe it's simply reading labels more carefully. No step is too small. Every commitment matters. When you comment, you not only reinforce your own decision, you inspire others. You show someone else, sitting quietly on the other side of the world, that they are not alone. That change is possible. That strength is within reach. So, tell me in the comments, what's the first action you'll take after watching this video? I can't wait to read your answers and cheer you on. Remember, the foods you choose today are not just meals. They are messages to your future self. Messages that say, I choose strength. I choose independence. I choose life. Your legs have carried you through so much already. Honor them by giving them what they need to keep carrying you proudly, powerfully, joyfully into all the beautiful moments yet to come. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. Thank you for investing in yourself. And thank you for choosing a future full of strength, mobility, and freedom. This is just the beginning. Together, we're going to build a life where every step you take is a step toward vitality. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and until next time, keep walking, keep moving, and keep believing in the incredible power within you. Glowing Dar.